My name is Robert. I'm 74 years old, and I'm sitting in an empty house on a Tuesday afternoon, watching the rain hit the window, thinking about a decision I made 29 years ago. A decision that cost me everything. Last week, my daughter invited me to Thanksgiving. Her house, her husband, her 3 kids. She does this every year. I can feel how different it is. I'm not unwelcome exactly, but I'm not really part of it either. I'm the grandfather they invite out of obligation, the old man who sits in the corner chair, the one who broke the family apart. I caught my wife cheating in 1995. I was 45 years old. She was 43. We'd been married 23 years. And instead of trying to understand, instead of fighting for what we'd built, instead of forgiving her, I walked away. I filed for divorce within a week. I moved out within a month. I told myself I had dignity. I had principles. What I really had was pride. And that pride has kept me company for nearly 3 decades now. Let me tell you something about pride. It's a cold companion. It doesn't hold your hand when you're sick. It doesn't laugh at your jokes. I met Linda in 1970. I was 20 years old, working construction in Philadelphia. She was 18, working at her father's diner on Passyunk Avenue. I came in every morning for coffee and eggs. She had this way of looking at you, like she was actually seeing you. Dark hair, green eyes, laugh that made the whole diner turn around. It took me 3 months to ask her out. I finally did it on a Tuesday morning in March. She said yes, before I'd finished the sentence. We got married in 1972. Small wedding, about 60 people. We couldn't afford much, but we didn't care. We rented a tiny apartment above a hardware store, 1 bedroom, kitchen so small you couldn't open the refrigerator and the oven at the same time. But it was ours. Linda got pregnant in 1974, our daughter Sarah, then our son Michael in 1977. I was working long hours, trying to build a life for us. Started my own contracting business in 1979. It was hard at first. There were months we didn't know if we'd make rent, but Linda never complained. She worked part-time at a law office, kept the books for my business, raised the kids. By 1985, things were getting better. We bought a house in the suburbs, 3 bedrooms, decent yard. We were building something together. That's what I thought anyway. I loved her. I really loved her. But somewhere in all those years of building and working, I stopped showing it. I was too busy, too focused on making sure we had enough money, too tired. By 1995, we'd been married 23 years. The kids were in college. We had money in the bank. The house was paid off. We'd made it. But I'd forgotten to actually be with her. It was September 1995. A Thursday. I came home early, around 4 o'clock. The house was quiet. Linda's car was in the driveway. I walked upstairs. Our bedroom door was closed. Linda never closed that door during the day. I opened it. I don't need to describe what I saw. What you can imagine is the sound that came out of me. Not quite a yell, not quite a gasp. Something animal. The sound of your entire world breaking in real time. His name was David. He worked at the law office with her. 47 years old. I'd met him once at an office party. Linda was sobbing, apologizing. I remember her saying, "Please, Rob, please let me explain." I remember backing away from her. Like she was contagious, I left. I got in my truck and drove. I ended up at my brother's house in Camden, showed up at his door at midnight. "What happened?" he asked. "Linda," I said. That's all I could get out. I stayed at my brother's for 3 days. Linda called 40, 50 times. Left voicemails, crying, begging. She said it had been going on for 4 months. She said it meant nothing. She said she was lonely. She said I was never home. She said she'd made a terrible mistake. She said she loved me. I didn't call her back. Not once. On day 4, I packed my clothes, my tools. My books. I left my wedding ring on the kitchen counter. And I called a divorce lawyer. Linda begged me to reconsider. She wrote me letters. She showed up at job sites. Everyone told me the same thing. She made a mistake. She's sorry. 23 years is worth fighting for. But I couldn't hear it. All I could hear was my own voice saying, "She betrayed you. If you forgive her, you're weak." So I didn't forgive her. The divorce was finalized in April 1996. 23 years of marriage ended because I was too proud to try. The kids were devastated. Sarah was 21. Michael was 19. They both called me. Sarah said, "Dad, people make mistakes. Can't you at least try counseling?" I told her it wasn't that simple, that some things can't be forgiven. Michael was more direct. "You're being stubborn. Mom's a mess. But you're throwing away our whole family because you're too proud." I hung up on him, didn't talk to him for 3 months. Here's what I couldn't admit. I was terrified that if I forgave her, she'd hurt me again. Terrified that I wasn't enough for her. Terrified that maybe I'd been such a terrible husband that she'd had to look elsewhere for something I should have been giving her. So instead of facing that fear, I ran. I wrapped myself in righteous anger. Linda moved on. In 1998, she met someone, a widower named Tom. Kind man, patient. He'd lost his wife to cancer. He understood loss. He understood second chances. They got married in 2000. The kids were there. I wasn't invited, but seeing the wedding photos, that hurt. Linda looked happy, genuinely happy. Late at night, alone, I wondered if maybe Tom was giving her something I never had. Maybe he actually talked to her. Maybe he was present in a way I never learned to be. In 2002, Sarah got married. I walked her down the aisle. But Tom was there too, front row with Linda. During her speech, she thanked me for being there when you could. Then she turned to Tom and said, "Thank you for being there for Mom when she needed someone most." That should have been my wake-up call. But I told myself she was just being diplomatic. Michael got married in 2005. Same story. I was there, but peripheral. Tom had become the man Linda leaned on. The man who showed up for family dinners. The grandchildren started coming. Sarah had twins in 2007. Michael had a daughter in 2009, a son in 2011. I saw them at holidays, sometimes birthdays, but I wasn't integrated into their lives the way Tom was. He was Grandpa Tom. I was Grandpa Robert. They hugged him longer, laughed easier around him. I tried not to notice, but it did matter. Of course it did. In 2010, my business started struggling. I was 60 years old, stressed, exhausted, and alone. I thought about calling Linda, just to talk, but I didn't. Pride, again. I dated a few women over the years. Nothing lasted. They all eventually asked, "Why did your marriage end?" I'd tell them, "Linda cheated. I left." They'd look at me with this expression. Not quite pity, not quite judgment. One woman, Patricia, a school teacher, said to me, "Did you ever think about forgiving her?" "No," I said. "Why would I?" She paused. "Because maybe you loved her." Because maybe you loved her? Because maybe 23 years was worth more than one mistake. Because maybe forgiveness isn't about being weak. It's about being brave. I never called Patricia again, too close to the truth. The call came in February 2019. I was 70 years old. It was Michael. "Dad," he said, his voice sounded hollow. "It's Mom." Heart attack. Linda was 67. She'd been at the gym, collapsed on a treadmill. Tom was there, called 911 immediately. But it was too late. I sat down. I couldn't breathe. Linda was dead. My Linda. Except she hadn't been my wife in 23 years. The funeral was massive. Hundreds of people. Linda had built a whole life after me. Friends I'd never met, co-workers. She'd been active in her church, volunteered at a food bank, taught ESL classes. Who was this woman? I looked at the photo they'd chosen. Linda at 65. Gray hair. Laugh lines. She looked content. Complete. I'd spent 23 years telling myself she'd destroyed her life. But she hadn't. She'd rebuilt. She'd moved forward. She'd found joy again. I'd spent those same 23 years working, staying angry, staying alone. At the reception, Tom approached me. Kind eyes, gentle handshake. "Robert," he said, "Linda talked about you sometimes." "Oh?" "She said you were a good man, a hard worker, a good father. She said her biggest regret was hurting you. She never got over that." I felt something crack inside my chest. "She told you about the affair?" "Yes. She was honest with me from the start. She made a mistake 25 years ago. One mistake, and she paid for it the rest of her life." "She seemed happy," I said. "With you." Tom nodded. "We had 19 good years, but she never stopped wishing she could go back and fix things with you. She never stopped hoping you'd forgive her." That's when I understood, really understood. Linda had spent 19 years happy, yes, but she'd also spent those 19 years carrying the weight of my unforgiveness, my refusal to even try. And now she was gone. And I'd never get the chance to tell her what I should have said in 1995. "I'm sorry, I forgive you, I still love you. I'm 74 years old now, 5 years since Linda died, and I'm finally understanding things I should have understood when I was 45. Marriage is long. Life is long, and people make mistakes, terrible, painful mistakes. But one mistake doesn't erase 23 years of building a life together. It doesn't erase the morning coffees, the late night talks, the way she grabbed my hand when she was nervous. I was so focused on the betrayal that I couldn't see the bigger picture. Yes, she hurt me. Yes, she broke our vows. Yes, she did something unforgivable. Except it wasn't unforgivable. I just chose not to forgive. And here's what that choice cost me. 29 years of companionship, hundreds of dinners eaten alone, thousands of nights with no one to talk to, grandchildren who barely know me, a woman who loved me, despite her mistake, dying without ever hearing me say, I forgave her. I tell myself I stood on principle. But principles don't keep you warm. Principles don't hold your hand when you're scared. Principles don't laugh at your jokes. People talk about forgiveness like it's for the other person, like it's some gift you give them. But forgiveness is for you. It's releasing yourself from the prison of anger and hurt and pride. It's choosing freedom over bitterness. I chose death. I didn't die physically, but I stopped living. I stopped being part of my family. I stopped being open to love. I became hard, closed, bitter, alone. If you're watching this, and you're holding on to anger at someone you love, I need you to listen to me. Really listen. Life is short. You think you have time. You think you'll get another chance. You think your pride matters more than your relationships. You're wrong. That person who hurt you, they're human, flawed, imperfect, just like you, just like me. And unless they're actively abusive or dangerous, unless they're completely unrepentant, they deserve a chance. One chance. To make it right. Don't do what I did. Don't throw away decades of love because of one terrible decision. Don't let your pride cost you your family. Don't wake up at 74 years old and realize you spent the second half of your life punishing yourself for someone else's mistake. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're a fool. It means you're brave enough to try again. It means you value love more than being right. I think about that September day in 1995 all the time. I think about what I should have done differently. I should have stayed in that room. I should have let her explain. I should have gone to counseling. I should have tried. Even if it failed, even if we still ended up divorced. At least I would have tried. But I didn't. I ran. And I'd been running ever since. I'm sitting here at 74, alone, and I'm begging you, don't be me. Don't let pride destroy your life. Don't let one mistake erase all the good. Don't let fear of being hurt again keep you from being loved. If this resonates with you, share this video. Maybe someone else needs to hear it too. And leave a comment. What do you need to forgive? What relationship are you letting die because you're too proud to try? I can't get Linda back. I can't get those 29 years back. I can't hear her laugh or hold her hand or tell her I'm sorry. But you can. You still have time. Don't waste it. If you found this story meaningful, please subscribe. For more honest conversations about life, regret, and the lessons we learn too late. And remember, forgiveness isn't weakness. It's the strongest thing you'll ever do.